If you die 5 times, there are only 95 percentage points left in there. And apparently there's some plot stuff where you need to get up to 50% all in one place, with a minimum of 10% on each one that won't transfer. So, the practical upshot is, if your main character dies more than 20 times, you get locked out of a bunch of stuff towards the end of the game. That's kind of a terrible thing not to explain in any way until you're maybe halfway through the game. But that's how this thing rolls. That's the one thing you have to watch out for, apparently. Just don't let Neptune here die, and never leave a dungeon without killing everything in it. Although you do have enough loot of that dungeon that I unlocked already, with the recommended level of 999. If I really wanted to, I could go in there right now. The encounter rate in this game is crazy low. I could easily, especially if I run fights, just charge right in, get all the treasure chests, get all this like post-end-game equipment, slip myself up right now, and I would take, you know, the one hit to the whole percentage thing. But you can take 20.
I never let my prey go.
Not that big a deal.
Get ready. Okay, can you block
And
this?
once again, I haven't really gone up the levels here. I think I'm still level 2 at this point, unless I wasn't paying attention to hit 3. These things before were taking me like a couple of rounds to kill one of them, because they have like 2,000 slimes for some reason in this game. You'll notice now that doing the whole combo attack thing, I'm like dropping them in one attack from one person, or one chain of attacks from one person. Sometimes a little more. That was one. So like I said, like the combo link thing really breaks the game. And what I have to do when the camera's not on is do the math, because like I said, you can pretty much work out what attacks to use just by dividing the attack power by the AP cost. And just using whatever's the best. There might be something to be said, though, for using some lower AP moves to get the little combo thing, refilling it more often. I think after this fight I got it, but I now have a couple attacks that are like 50 for 15, which, actually, wait, is that even worth using? Yeah, it is. It's slightly better than the 2.5 ratio I've been using so far. But I'm not sure if it's worth the trade-off of
I'll go as much
costing
as I can.
almost double the AP per hit, because I get less of the combo links in that way. It's entirely possible that for the duration of the game, just the basic sword/melee attack over and over again, linked up at the end like this, is the way to go. Nothing will ever top it. And if so, that's just really hilarious. Because then all this effort I'm putting into researching, you know, wait, what does all this stuff do? That's just going to a complete waste. And it turns out that, no, you can just, you know, mash the one button. Best thing you can do in the entire game. As long as you set up the one little link thing. So that's the actual gameplay here. The other thing too is I haven't been using it, but there is that skill to just get attacked like between 1 and 5 times right up from when you first get started. You get a bunch of attacks right when you first start the dungeon, and then the encounter rate just kind of turns off for like 5 minutes. And like I said, you can clear the whole dungeon in that amount of time. So if you don't want to fight, you can get it over with right away, and then be done with it for the rest of the dungeon. Which is kind of something that in a well-designed game might be neat. Especially since I get to the point where I'm not really taking damage anymore. I mean, this is a boss fight and it's got a couple hits in, but it's about to die right here, look.
Can you block this?
Yes, look at that huge 4,000 some damage too.
Did you think that was it?
And I'm still going.
This is a bonus. Take it home.
Like, again, the whole guard break thing, I'm really not sure what to do to actually trigger that. It might be, like, more damage per hit to make that drop faster. I'm not really sure. But once it goes off, you just basically get, like, enough AP restored per cycle of your attacks that you can go forever until the time limit expires, especially if you remember to hammer L2 and skip all the animations. Because it goes by actual time passed, not attacks used. And oh, here I am taking level 3, getting some new skills that I'm going to be using like an idiot, which I don't think really are worth it. I have to do that, which I'm not sure. I also got Fantasy Zone, which is summoning a video game inside the video game to do lousy damage to
you're
things.
both looking for key fragments for this.
And it's a good video game. I don't like seeing poor little Opa paraded around in this trash like that. He deserves better. He deserves a lot better, man.
Somewhere in this world. She's like one of those secret optional
And here's some more horrible conversation, of course. I don't really know what to say about this.
Fragments are guarded by monsters. So the source is
Again, it's so slow. It's so vacuous. Their attempts at humor are so awful.
To do with it too. Saving the
And,
world.
I mean, half of it is, like, making jokes about they're in a video game, but you are in a video game. Shut up.
Ooh, Iffy, you're
It's not even, like, properly self-aware. Nobody talks about leveling up. They want to avoid all the monsters. Oh, don't get game over by falling on some spikes.
It's simple logic. If this is
Anyway,
all true, however, leaving it to you two will spell doom for all
yeah, that's it for the
humanity.
first proper dungeon here, obviously. Like I said, apparently they're all that short.
I'll help. You're traveling, right? You'll
Then you
need
have these
someone
long
with you who's been
conversations
to
that
a
take
lot of different lands.
each one longer than dungeons that they're
About
after.
those fragments. If they're guarded by monsters, it might be
they
pretty
return to the
easy to
hub map.
find them after all.
But, oh, the other thing I did before,
Really? Then I'm sure
when I was playing for like 5 minutes without you, and resetting it, is I jumped back to my old save in the tutorial cave and undid that shopping trip I went on. Because I realized something. You can't sell things in this game. If you buy something, it rots away in your inventory for the rest of the game. That's it. It's just there. You can't get rid of it. I doubt there's any sort of space limitation. I'm sure you're expected to have your little trophy list of every item you ever bought. But, you know, you can't, like, buy something and then sell it to afford something else down the road. So, if you can avoid buying something, avoid buying it. You'll just save so much money in the long run. The other thing about saving money in the long run is, I mentioned there was an optional character. Well, not really a character, just kind of like a thing that you pick up and talks and annoys you without actually fighting. But there's the one that explains the whole concept of the game industry, hardware sales, mindshare thing, or whatever you want to call it. And then there's another one which discounts every item in every shop by 30% by having it around. So I'm not going to be buying anything until I pick up that freak, and even then I'm going to see how long I can go without buying anything, because I haven't really, you know, been hurting equipment-wise so far. Like I said, realizing the whole combo link thing gives you basically like double your attacks per round. I'm set for now. And, oh yes, here's this little picture again, and if you look closely, yeah, it's doing the whole Jacob physics on the static image thing again. That really is just so terrible. And, oh yeah, here's this whole thing again, too. Well, first I'm going to take a break to check some things. Some skills. But, yeah, the interface for, you know, playing the game, we have two options on what passes for an overworld. One is, you know, set stuff up. Just, like, here's some conversations you can have. Here's... no, that's all of it, really. Here's a conversation you can have. Or plot hooks to things that there's ways to put a conversation in front of. And then it adds a new dungeon to the list of dungeons in a separate menu. And I don't understand why these can't be just combined. Just, you know, here's this thing. It's an inconsequential conversation. Here's this other thing. Oh, here's a dungeon. Want to go into it now, or do you want to talk to more people? Okay, cool. And towards the end of the video, so there's actually a third one of these redundant lists. The fourth, if you count the one of looking at events that are in other parts of the world that you can't reach, but know exist. They could put all of this on one little list and streamline the hell out of it. And yeah, Fantasy Zone sucks. The ability in this game is that is not the actual game Fantasy Zone, which I am quite fond of. Not quite fond of, but pretty fond of it. More of the second one, but yeah. And inevitably, you're going to see some messing with skills screens on this. Where do I have anything to say besides it is really fairly pointless for what you get out of it. There's elements on medium attacks, so I guess if something is really to wind, I want to use Fantasy Zone on it. But again, it's a ranged attack for a melee character. And, well, I've got a lot of healing things for it. The whole figuring out that I can get double the attacks by comboing, and that I can cancel out of the combo at the last second to defend at the end, that really saves the HP a bit. I think most of these fights I'm actually not taking a hit unless they start it, or I don't pay attention enough to hit the first one initiative order. And I don't expect that to change anytime soon. Anything will just get worse. Because I'll have more EP to work with and know how to recycle it, and yeah. What else? Let's see. A lot of people have asked me, why am I playing this game if it's so horrible? And it's a pretty simple answer. Masochism is the big part of it. Another part of it is, quite frankly, I've been joking about doing this thing for forever now, where I would play these horrible games and ramble about them. And somebody called my bluff. Somebody I know, who remained nameless because who wants to admit to it, bought this game on another dare to see how far they could get into it. They played it for 10 minutes. They didn't get all the way through the intro. They got through the little, like, fight scene in the middle of the intro, shut it off in disgust, packed it away, and just, like, could not bring themselves to touch it again. This person, who I didn't know that well, sent me this game for free. Not only did they send this game for free and pay the shipping on it, but they had a bunch of other stuff lying around, some old anime worth watching, that they had copies of. They gave that to me along with it, just as kind of a, half consolation prize, half bribe, to make sure I would actually get through this game. And, you know, that's a good standing offer. If there is some really hideous, vile game that you'd like to see me play through after I finish this one, get a hold of me, toss it to me along with a bribe, and I'll do the same thing. Why not? And, oh yeah, here's the little menu where you can look at all the monsters you fought, and like I said, they're just really lazy designs. And cheap, too, for a game on this system. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Would you be impressed by that in anything? I mean, even as a retro thing, it's just so lazy. It's like, oh, here's a Space Invader with chickenpox. The art part of it put, like, no effort into these. And, oh yeah, you can also rewatch any cutscene that you've seen before, in case you really want to. Apparently, you can access a jukebox thing to change the music later on in the game. And I have to say, if I get the hold of that, I really want to use it, because this game has a really horrible soundtrack. Part of the reason the audio was messed up, like I said before, was just recording problems, but part of it was I was trying to turn down the actual in-game volume on the track when I was recording it, and turn up just the commentary to drown out the horrible, horrible noise that plays on the title screen in particular when you're going to select either new game or continue.